So Galatians 2:20, we're going to turn to Galatians 2, verse 20. Give me a minute, I'm going to get up there. Galatians 2, verse 20. And it reads, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but it is Christ that lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave his life for me. Amen? Amen. Now, this whole idea of being crucified with Christ is one of the most central things to what we believe, in Christianity. How we believe is the right way to be a Christian, or to live as a Christian. But why is that? Why do we believe that it's so important to be crucified with Christ? Well, I was reading about this, I was doing some study, and I found out there's actually some really amazing truths behind this doctrine. This idea that we are to be crucified with Christ. And actually, being crucified with Christ can change your life in some of the most powerful ways that we might not even have known. So the first thing that being crucified with Christ does for you, we're going to talk about three things. The first thing is that being crucified with Christ gives you a new future. Amen? Amen. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's all head to Genesis chapter 1, right in the beginning. Genesis, we're going to head there. Chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 26. Genesis, and I'll read in your hearing. Then God said, let us make man in our own image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on it. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created him. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over every living thing that moves on earth. And God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you that shall be for you for food. Also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given you green herb for food, and it was so. And God saw everything that he made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So here we see our original future, our original plan was to live forever with God in this perfect world that we were in charge of. We're supposed to rule over this world, we're supposed to have dominion over this world, and this is a perfect life, free from harm, free from sin, free from suffering, and that was what life was supposed to be like for us. But then everything changed. In the next chapter we read that God had only one rule, chapter 2, verse 16 and 17. It says, and the Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may eat freely, but the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. So God's saying, hey, I'm giving you all this land, I'm giving you everything, I'm giving you all this freedom, I'm giving you paradise. Just don't do one thing. Can you not do one thing for me? Just don't eat of this one tree. You can have all the other trees, just don't eat from this one. And unfortunately, as we read on, we find out that our fathers could not even do, that, which is much like us today. So we see in chapter 3 that Adam and Eve saw the fruit, Eve ate it, she brought it to Adam, and he ate it. And in that, Adam and Eve, not forever, but right then and there, they changed what our future would be like. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's head to Romans chapter 5, verse 12. Romans 5, verse 12. Romans 5, verse 12. And it says, therefore, just as through sin entered the world, and death through sin, therefore just as sin entered through one man, I'm confusing this. Therefore just as through one man sin entered the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men, because all men sinned. All men have sinned. So the Bible says through Adam, death and sin entered the world. We now had a new future, and that future was one of eternal death. We were now, all of us were born to live for a very short time, and then to die for eternity. To be forever separated from God. That was our future. That was our reality. But then, we serve a great God, praise God. We serve a loving God. And the loving God that we serve would not allow this to be the last thing that happened. He would not allow this to have the final say on our future. So God sends His Son, Jesus Christ, and praise God, He died on the cross and He redeemed us from our sins. And now when we head in that same chapter to verses 18 and 19, it says, therefore, as through one man's offense, judgment came to all men, resulting in condemnation. Even so, through one man's righteous act, the free gift came to all men, resulting in the justification of life. For as by one man's disobedience, we were all made sinners. Also by one man's obedience, many will be made righteous. Amen?
Amen.
So here, Jesus has given us a new future. But we have to, it's not that we have that future yet, we have to die to ourselves in order to gain that future. Now what do I mean? Paul kind of illustrates this. It feels kind of weird to say you gotta die so you can live. It just doesn't really make sense, if you think about it with a carnal mind. But Paul, in chapter 7, gives us a little illustration. Romans chapter 7 and verses 1 through 3, it says, or do you not know, brethren, for I speak to those who know the law, that the law has dominion over a man as long as he lives. For the woman who has a husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he lives. But if the husband dies, she is released from the law of her husband. So then, if the husband lives, she marries another man and will be called an adulteress. But if her husband dies, she is free from the law, so that she is not an adulteress, though she is married another man. So, what this is saying is that under our first father Adam, we became married to the law. Now the Bible says in Galatians 3:10 that everyone that is under the law is under a curse. So the point is, with the law, we can't really be saved, because the law is always something that we can't keep and that will never be good enough to keep and that will never be good enough to uphold. So we're married to this husband, the law, because of our father Adam, that will ultimately result in our death. It's a terrible relationship. It's a relationship that's oppressive. It's a relationship that leaves us sad, that leaves us feeling hopeless. And unfortunately, here in this verse, it says that you can only be freed from marriage through death. Now, what does the Bible say about the law? The Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 18, it says, Jesus is talking right there, and he says, heaven and earth will pass away. Heaven and earth will pass away before one jot of my law, or one tittle of my law will pass away. A tittle is like the I on a J, a lowercase j or a lowercase I. But so the problem is, we can only be freed from the law through death. But what happens with the law? We can only be freed from the law through death. But Jesus says that the law will never die. The law won't be determined. I mean, the law will be destroyed. So then what does that mean? If the law can't die, how can we be free? We have to die. We have to die to the law through Christ. Here, if we continue reading through verse 4, it says, therefore, my brethren, you have also become dead to the law through the body of Christ. Amen?
Amen.
That you may be married to another, to him who has raised from the dead, that you should bear the fruit of God. So the first thing that the grace of Christ does for us, the first thing that dying in Christ does for us, is that it gives us a new future. Amen? Amen. A new future. Where we were once born to die, or we would live to die, now we die so that we can live, and that we can live forever. It's one of the greatest, trade-offs I could think of, living and dying. It's one of the greatest truths in the Bible. And through the sacrifice that we make when we die to ourselves, and we become alive in Jesus Christ, we have a new future. The second thing that we get is that when we die to Christ, when we die to ourselves, when we are made new in Christ, we are made a new creation. Now, we're going to head back to Galatians chapter 20, verse 2. Galatians chapter 20, verse 2. We're going to head back there, and it says, for I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I live now in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved and gave his life for me. So now, not only have we gained a new future, we've now become new creations. This is a theme that's all over the Bible. This is something that has happened throughout history. We see this in the Old Testament, we see this in the New Testament. People being transformed into something that's completely new from what they already were. In fact, a lot of times we see that God will give somebody even a new name to illustrate that they're a completely new creation. Now, a good story for this is the story of Jacob. Now, Jacob's name meant deceiver. And that name was very accurate for Jacob because he had deceived his whole life. He deceived his father, he deceived his brother, he even deceived his father-in-law to get extra sheep, for his cattle. But the point is that his whole life was accurately summed up by his name, and his name was Deceiver. But if we go to Genesis chapter 32, turn with me to Genesis chapter 32. We see that Jacob has an encounter with God. An encounter with God that we all seem to have when we become born again in Him. And we see that a man actually comes and starts wrestling him, and he's fighting, they're wrestling all night, and they're fighting back and forth. And then eventually the guy touches his hip, and he becomes dislocated, and he's holding, and then he realizes that he's not fighting with a normal person. He realizes he's fighting with a higher being. And he's fighting with this person, he's saying, no, I won't let you go till you bless me, I won't let you go till you bless me. And then the person says, fine, what is your name? And imagine Jacob, a man looking at this higher being than him, that he knows is holier and more righteous, and looking at him and saying, my name is Deceiver. That's what his name meant. My name is Deceiver, I deceive, that's what I do, that's who I am. And then we see right here, it says, okay, well, your name is no longer Deceiver. Your name is Israel. Israel means overcomer. You're no longer a deceiver, you are an overcomer. You are a new creation. Brothers and sisters, when we have an experience with Christ and we die to ourselves, when we have a Christ experience, we become changed. You cannot have a genuine experience with Christ and not be changed. Christ is too powerful. His love is too transformative. It's what changes our lives. Even Paul is walking, not walking, he's on a donkey, he's with a group of people, he's going to murder Christians, and all of a sudden, Christ comes out of nowhere and blinds him, and he falls on the floor. And it says that Paul, who wanted to go kill those Christians, that was his mission, because of that one experience with Christ, became the greatest, or one of the greatest evangelists for that same movement that he was persecuting. When you have an experience with Christ, when you die to self and you become new in Christ, you have become changed. Not only do you have a new future, you become a new creation. Amen. The last thing we want to talk about is, when you die to yourself and you become new in Christ, not only do you have a new future, a hopeful future, not only do you become a new person, a new creation, but you also become set free to the old person who you were, or to the old habits that once had control over you. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. We're going to read Romans chapter 6. Romans chapter 6, and we're going to start from verse 6, and then we're going to read a little on from there. And in Romans chapter 6, it reads, Romans chapter 6, starting from verse 6. Knowing that our old man was crucified with him, and the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves to sin. For he who has died has been freed from sin. Amen? Amen. He who has died has been freed from sin. Now if we died with Christ, we believe that we should also live with Christ. And I'm going to skip down to verse 12. It says, therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body, that you should obey its lust. And do not present your members as instruments of unrighteousness to sin, but present yourselves to God as being alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of a righteous God. So the last thing we see here is that not only do you have a new future, not only do you become a new creation, but when you give yourself over to Christ, when you let self die and you let Christ live and you become a new being in Christ, you become set free from the chains of sin that once held you. This is powerfully stated in Colossians chapter 2, verse 20. Colossians 2, verse 20. Please turn there with me. Colossians chapter 2 and verse 20. Colossians chapter 2. Sorry, I meant over there. Colossians chapter 2. And it reads, therefore, if you died with Christ from the basic principles of the world, why, as though living in the world, do you subjugate yourself to its regulations? So what it's basically saying here is, if you've been set free from the chains of sin, why do you still act as though you're a slave? Why do you still act as though you're a slave to sin, a slave to everything that sin entails, which is death? And this spoke powerfully to me when I read this, because I thought, man, you know, I've grown up in the church my whole life. I made the decision to be a pastor. It was really hard. I prayed about it a lot. I didn't really want to do it, but I felt touched. I felt moved. I felt called. And even now, I still feel like I'm a slave. I thought, you know, full honesty, I thought when I declared as a theology major, I'd like magically be good with all my temptations, and that I'd be able to. No, I'm not joking. I seriously thought that would happen. Because I thought I could just think, oh, you're a pastor now, you can't do that. But it didn't work, unfortunately. I found that out really quickly. And I've realized that this verse was very powerful when I read it, because Christ here is telling me, Jeremiah, you don't have to be a slave. I died so that you wouldn't be a slave to sin. You're a slave to me, but you're not a slave to sin. This isn't something that has to hold you anymore. And I know this is true for all of us. All of us have sins in our lives that we feel as though we can't shake, we can't get rid of, that they have control over our lives, and they weigh down on everything that we do, and they make us sad, and it makes us, you know, feel worthless, and it makes us feel like we're not good enough to be followers of Christ, we're not good enough to share the word, and it makes us insulate ourselves and cut us off from other people, the very same people we're trying to reach. The message of not I, but Christ in me tells us that not only do you have a new future, not only are you a new creation, you are set free from those chains of sin. Amen? We are no longer the same people we used to be. We no longer have the same future we used to be. And we are no longer held down by the same things that held us down before. It's a beautiful truth, brothers and sisters. And I leave you with 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. We're going to turn to 2 Timothy 2, verse 11. Sorry. 2 Timothy 2, verse 11 says, this is a faithful saying. This is a faithful saying, my dear brothers and sisters. For if we died with him, we shall also live with him. Amen. When Christ tells you to die to self, when Christ tells you to give it all to him, it's not the end. It's the new beginning in Christ. Amen. You give up your life. The Bible says that the person who gives up his life shall save it. When we give up everything to Christ, he gives us a new life in him. And that, brothers and sisters, is one of the most powerful messages in the whole Bible that we can remind ourselves of every day. That we no longer have the same future that we used to have. We are no longer the same people that we used to have. And we are no longer chained by the same things that we used to be chained by. So I encourage you all to die, let go of yourself. You're not going to take yourself very far in life. You know, I hope I hurt nobody's pride. You know, I had to accept the same thing. You're not going to take yourself far in life. Give yourself to God, and he'll take you farther than you ever thought you would. So to that, say amen. And should I close the prayer? All right, let's close your eyes. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for the sacrifice that your Son gave to us, Lord, when he came down, and he gave everything for us, Lord. And now in response, we ask that you help us to give everything back to him. We give our lives, Lord, because we know that our life has nothing of worth, nothing of value that is equal to what you have for us, Lord. We pray that we will be motivated by your love and by your sacrifice, and that we will let go of self and become fully invested in you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.